Welcome! Xiaomi released new smartphones recently. You could say they release them every week, but some interesting smartphones. The 11T series, but also another Lite version. And this Lite version I think is more interesting than the T series, because the T series for a lot of money doesn't even offer what the previous T series had to offer. So I present to you the Xiaomi 11 Lite 5G NE. Want to do an unboxing and first look. So let's get started. So this is what you can get with the Xiaomi 11 Lite 5G NE. So you get some bit of paperwork and of course a SIM eject tool, as well as a nice little rubber case here, and of course some paper material and a USB Type-C to 3.5mm headphone adapter, as well as this silicon case. And then you also get the 33 watt power adapter here. That is a USB-A to USB Type-C, and here you get the cable as well. And then of course you get the phone itself, feather lightweight design, super slim, 90Hz AMOLED Dolby Vision supported screen, 10-bit color depth, true color, a high resolution 64 megapixel triple camera setup, ultra wide and telemacro lenses included, and the Qualcomm Snapdragon 778G 5G. On paper, a little bit of a downgrade to the Mi 11 Lite 5G, but still a good thing. So let's open this up and let's see which color we have here. The sticker, it's the pink variant. It's not a white variant, but maybe you can see it here. It's the pink variant that I got here, and it's really small and lightweight, and the camera bump is not sticking out too much. Here we can see the 64 megapixel camera, 8 megapixel ultra wide, and I think we have a macro cam as well in here, as well as the LED flashlight. Then we have a power button with integrated fingerprint scanner, and we have a volume rocker. We have an IR blaster and a microphone on the top, and on the bottom we have sound output, USB Type-C, microphone, and the hybrid SIM slot that allows you two nano SIMs or one nano SIM and a micro SD card, which is pretty interesting, I think. And yeah, this is basically everything around this device. There's a screen protector already a bit touched and fumbled. There is the little front-facing camera, which is I think 16 megapixels, if I'm not mistaken. And we have a screen protector on top, which is a bit sticky. I'm not sure that I like this so much. Let's turn it on for the first time to see how quick it boots up. If it has any juice, we see the new Xiaomi logo. Powered by Android, so it comes of course with Google Play services on board. What I can tell you immediately, what I don't like is the bottom here. The display doesn't look like it is, the edge looks a bit bigger than the display itself, and you can feel it even. Like the display is a straight one, but here you have like this weird shape curve to it that I don't know if it's plastic in here. Has a weird feeling to it. Maybe you can see it here when I hold it like this a little bit, where this is a bit rounder, and then you have this thing where the display is lying on top, and you can really feel it. It's a bit, gives a bit of a weird feeling. Anyway, here you can see the notch, which or the hole punch, which is I think not so intriguing. And doesn't have a silver ring in this case, and we are greeted by MIUI 12.5, and we can start with the language, good old English. We are in Germany. It's nice privacy policy where I can read about the privacy stuff. And if you wonder why I'm using Xiaomi devices again, reviewing them, unboxing them, watch the video that I did about the privacy concerns, or is Xiaomi still spying. And yeah, click on next, and click on next. I have to agree, I've read them. check for SIM card. I don't have any. You can see insert your SIM card, read the instructions that came with your device. I don't have a SIM card inserted, and now I can connect to my Wi-Fi. After setting up the Google stuff, I can now choose my search provider, so I can choose something else here, like for example I can choose midranger, Yahoo, DuckDuckGo, or so and so on. Wonder why Quant is not in there. Let's choose midranger then as my search provider and continue the setup. Yeah, continue the setup. Just a second. Google Assistant is there for you as well. I don't need it. I don't want it. Really don't need it. How can I skip it? Skip. Great. And then Google Pay. And then this will take a few minutes and your device is ready, hopefully. And then we can try out the device, take a look at what kind of bloatware is installed and how the system looks like. And turn this off, talking to Xiaomi Cloud now to tell them that I don't need it, and I can set a password, only screen lock or fingerprint. So I choose fingerprint here, have to enter a super secret PIN that remember your password. Okay, got it. And I have like 1, 2, 3, 4. Set this as PIN and have to probably enter it again. Not sure why this is hiding itself, but yeah, add a fingerprint now. Press the side button here, and this one is working pretty fine. Reminds me of the Redmi Note 10 Pro that has also such a button, and I have to press like a few times for the fingerprint to read, and I can add even the sides to it, so it will definitely work. And successfully added, done. And then I have some additional settings like location, send diagnostic data, automatic system updates, personalized ads that of course I will turn off, and the user experience program that I don't want to participate in. And I click on next. I can have the classic or the app drawer here, which is nice that they have this as option here for new users that, or users that are known to the old system, they can switch directly here. And the setup is complete. It's loading the apps right now, and we will take a look at what is pre-installed. Here we go. This is the user interface now after I started up. So we have Google Play Store, we have the file manager, Xiaomi Music, Gallery, security updates, themes, and cleaner. We have the Google folder with Google apps like Google Pay, podcasts, and other shenanigans. Pre-installed, we have Netflix, Mi Community, Opera as browser, Mi Store, some games that are installed. Wow. PUBG Mobile, GIF, what? I always intrigued to click on it, but no. More apps here that I'm not sure if they are really installed. Let's try eBay. They're really installed. Oh God, they're really installed. So yeah, I thought if they would be downloaded, then makes sense. But we have a Xiaomi folder with tools, weather app, the Mi Video app, and settings app. So let's take a look at the storage. About phone first. Storage occupied 25.7 gigabytes out of 128 gigabytes. Of course, even if the phone was just released here in Germany, we have the MIUI version update already that we can install. As you can see here, 12.5.1, and it offers me 12.5 which is I think the same version that I have on my Redmi Note 10 Pro as well. You can set the refresh rate, which is set by default to 60 Hz instead of 90. So let's set it to 90 Hz, even if we don't see it with the 60 Hz that I'm recording here right now. I want gestures. I don't want to learn them because I know how it works. Quick and easy. So now we have gestures, and yeah, the system on first glance seems to be working fine. We have the Google feed here as well if we want this. We have live wallpapers recently used in local photos. We don't have super wallpapers on this device. I can tell you already from the responses that I get from the vibration motor, it's a pretty good one. So Xiaomi is very good in the vibration motor sector, even on this mid-range devices. And typing here, it feels good. It really feels good. I think it may be a little bit better than on the Redmi Note 10 Pro, but I'm not sure. It might be also due to the slimmer body that it feels a bit different here and more responsive here than on the Redmi Note 10 Pro. You can see this, the screen is not like embedded into the edge, it's just like sitting on top of the whole sandwich here, which creates like a bit of weird feeling here on the sides as well. So I'm not sure what to think about this. It's a thin and lightweight product, definitely. But yeah, this is a bit disturbing for me. Unlocking with the fingerprint reader works fine and quick, as you can see here. What I want to check out is a bit of music quality, because we have the option to not only have the bottom firing speaker here, but also the earpiece here will react as a speaker as well, will work as a speaker as well. Do we have anything here on? We don't have any music on this. Back this here, for example, I'll play it back earlier already. Of course, there's advertisements as well. And for some reason, you can see that the rotation is turned off, rotation lock orientation. Orientation lock is on, which is a bit weird. Now I can switch, and let's go out of the advertisements. Yeah, I think the speaker is loud. So what I can tell you immediately is that the main speaker here on the bottom is the one that has the bass. This one is getting pretty loud, but it's like, I would say like 70-30% or 80-20%, not much more. So the main speaker is really the one on the bottom that is firing out also all the bass, and the highs are coming only from the earpiece here. So that's about the loudspeaker test. And do we have a recorder here? Let's try out the microphone. Yes. And let's just hold it like this, and I will speak directly into it without trying to hold onto the microphone holes at the bottom. So 1, 2, 3. So this is a little test that I'm recording here right now in high quality on the Xiaomi 11 Lite 5G NE. So let's see how this will sound like. I will save it and I will play it back during my recording, of course, so you heard it already and can then see how good this is. Otherwise, midranger as search engine that I chose, definitely. And there's some updates coming in here as well. Let's try out the camera. So what do we have here in terms of camera? Agree. And we have to agree while using the app. And yeah, what can we do? Can we get close-up shots here? Maybe not on the EMIs, maybe something like this. The USB cable, can I get a bit closer? Getting issues, so I can go into here and, oh, this is good, that they now finally have the orientation changed for this option. On the Redmi Note 10 Pro, it is still, yeah, rotated the other way, so you have to always twist your head to see what's going on. We go in super macro mode. Wow. We can get pretty close and it looks like it's doing autofocusing. Is it? Yes, it has autofocus on the super macro. So I think it is a 5 megapixel super macro. Has a nice little sound when clicking in. AI is disabled by default. So let's enable it maybe. Does it do anything for the macro cam? I'm not sure. Anyway, so we have the super macro cam that we can use. We have a large sensor, 64 megapixel one, relatively large sensor that we can use. I think for a mid-range device it's okay. And can we get some background blur with this one? Let's try it with the packaging here. Yeah, I think it is working fine. Let's see how the picture looks like. Yeah, so the box is sharp at the bottom, maybe not as sharp as I would have liked. And the background has a nice blur. So, well, I think it is working with this one. What options do we have? Video mode is very interesting. Can we record? Yeah, we can record 4K up to 30 frames per second. If I go to 4K 30 frames per second, I can also go to the ultra wide angle still. So I can, let's see, when I'm recording, can I go to the ultra wide? Yes, I can go to the ultra wide. I can go to the one-time zoom as well, where it switches lenses, and I can zoom in even further. It's 1080p 30, why? That was 4K, wasn't I? 4K. Okay. Record. Is it now recording in 4K? Ah, now I cannot zoom out. So I was like thinking for a second that it's better than Redmi Note 10 Pro, but no, you cannot use the ultra wide angle in 4K. Cannot switch cameras, which is a bit of a bummer, I would say. So stop it here. Go to the one time. I'm at 4K. When I go to the ultra wide, it's switching automatically to 1080p. If I go to 4K now, it's going to the one time zoom. So it's weird. On the Redmi Note 10 Pro, if you go to the ultra wide, it's just deactivating the 4K 30 option, so you cannot choose it. What about 1080p 60? Also not available on the ultra wide. So it's the same setup as on the Redmi Note 10 Pro, which I really don't like, and I think this Snapdragon 778 should be able to record also on the ultra wide angle, but the ultra wide angle is only 8 megapixels, so at least 1080p 60 is something that should work on the ultra wide angle, I would say. So we have AI camera that we can turn on for video even. How does this? See. If I have AI camera on, then it is like only allowing me 1080p 30 and not the higher bit rates, even on the main cam, which I'm not sure what the AI camera is doing. I have moving subjects, so track subjects, which is pretty interesting. I didn't see that on other cameras. And we have some settings here as well. If you want to go and take a look at the settings here, shoot when screen off, live monitor, video encoder that we can choose, volume function as shutter, and some other settings here as well. So Pro mode can also record video, and we can set our shutter speed here, which is pretty awesome. We have also the full 64 megapixels that we can take photos in, which is nice. Do we have any RAW options here? We have also RAW option here. Is it available on all cameras? I don't even see like a way to... No, in RAW mode I can only use the main camera sensor apparently. I don't see any way to switch cameras. If I turn off RAW, I can zoom in, but can I also zoom out? I cannot zoom out. So RAW is also only possible on the main cam, which is a bit of a bummer. I have some options here, presets, sharpness, contrast that I can change, and metering modes, and some profiles as well that I can change in the Pro mode. Then we have the portrait mode, where I can change the aperture with f-stops shown at the top, and I can also do this for the front. And then we go to more, and we have some other styles here. Some of them are downloaded, some others are not downloaded. So we have short video vlog, movie effects that probably has to download, clone, full 64 megapixel, documents, time-lapse, dual video, night mode, panorama, slow motion, and long exposure. My first impression when scrolling down here, 90 Hz activated, I think it's very fluid, and the apps are running fluidly without any big issues. Do we get advertisements? I don't see an advertisement here. Dark theme is available, I can try it out here. I think it switched to the dark theme. Did it? Go to settings. No, it didn't switch to the dark theme, but you have the option to have under display maybe schedule the dark mode on or off, which is a pretty nice feature. So if I turn it on here, it will go to the dark mode, sunset and sunrise, because we have like already, sun is down. This is why you can see the ring light here. Anyway, this is now the dark mode. You can see everything becomes a little bit darker here as well. So File Manager, I don't see any issue with the advertisement going on here. What I want to try out now is take a look at the casing, how it looks like with, not casing as with the little protector here. And I think it looks okay. It's protecting the camera bump a little bit. So you lie down here. It's even protruding at the side edges here to protect the screen pretty nicely. It has buttons. It doesn't have a button here for the fingerprint reader, of course, so you're hitting the real button, but it has a button here, so no cutout really for the volume button. And otherwise the cutout at the bottom, is it large enough to fit, for example, external USB drives, thumb drives or something like this. So let's plug it in. It fits nicely, and let's see, file manager. Are you working? Are you detecting an external device? Where is it actually? Where do I have to look at to see external devices? It's detecting the Samsung one here, and I can browse it. So yeah, this is working as well. So external device support is working, even though the USB C port here at the bottom is only USB type C 2.0, so speeds are very slow when transferring files over here. And what can I say? What can I do? I can do a little speed test. Speedtest.net by Okla. So I consent, and I don't want a battery saver. It's running out of battery power. Don't want a battery saver, so leave it like it is and click on go to see how fast the Wi-Fi speed is here on my Wi-Fi. Keep in mind I have only LTE here as a speed, so the top speed will be around this 50 megabits per second down, and I think it is reaching this almost, as you can see here. And is it, yeah, downstream 46.75, ping 23. I think it's okay. And of course there's also DRM white wine level 1, so you don't have any issues with Netflix or Amazon Prime or Disney Plus or all the other ones that are out there. So this is now the front-facing video camera of the Xiaomi 11 Lite 5G and E, and it's a pretty long name. Front-facing camera can do 1080p 60 frames per second. And this is now the back camera of the 11 Lite 5G and E from Xiaomi, and the back camera has 64 megapixels. It can record up to 4K 30. I'm recording in 1080p 60 frames per second right now, hopefully. At least this is what I set up here. And want to show you the super wide angle as well, which is an 8 megapixel sensor, and this one can only record in 1080p 30. So 1080p 30, is it really super wide angle? I think this one is looking okay, but it is the usual thing that you get with the 8 megapixel cameras, and for this price range, it's okay-ish, I would say. So this is my first impression of the Xiaomi 11 Lite 5G and E. You can see the box again. If you have some questions, write them down in the comment section. Otherwise, share, like and subscribe this video, and give me some recommendations which devices I should test this against. Of course, I will test it against the one that's recording this right now, which is a Redmi Note 10 Pro, especially in the camera department, because I know that this is something very interesting for people. So that's everything for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Until the next time. Bye.